Hey friends, Thor Diecow. It's this week on Blu-ray and DVD. 4 titles to tell you about. We begin with the World War II drama directed by Angelina Jolie, Unbroken. And this stars Jack O'Connell, one of my favorite new actors out there today. He took him a while to sort of get his footing in Hollywood. Now he has found it with a great film 71 and Unbroken. He plays the true story of Louis Zamperini, the World War II pilot who survived a plane crash only to be caught by the Japanese Navy and sent to a series of POW camps. Take a look.
Keep going the way you're going, you end up as a bum on the street. You train. You fight harder than those other guys, and you win. If you could take it, you can make it. You can do this, Lou. You just gotta believe you can. Pop does. Ma does. I do.
There you go. Great production design in this one. And they did a meticulous job of trying to recreate these events in history because Zamperini was, of course, an Olympic runner. And it's quite the saga, and it's based on the best-selling book as well. There's also a big chunk of the movie where he spends a lot of time at sea, over a month, with 2 other soldiers. And then he gets confined to these POW camps. It's a harrowing journey. O'Connell is so magnetic as an on-screen performer, and he's a great leading man. I did have some issues with the way the movie was executed. Namely, it's very repetitive, and there's only so many ways you can show the guys sort of get beat down in these POW camps. So I felt it was a little bit gratuitous even at times, and the screenplay did need some work, but it's a polished saga. It's a beautiful look at World War II from cinematographer Roger Deakins. So a lot going for it, and Jack O'Connell proving that he is a rising star indeed. And he's also backed by a great cast with the likes of Donald Gleason, Garrett Hedlund, who you saw in the trailer there. So you might want to check out Unbroken if you like the taut and thrilling World War II era dramas. Okay, fantasy now is our next realm, and we're talking The Hobbit, and it's finally over. The thrilling and spectacular conclusion, Bilbo Baggins, he is saying goodbye in the Battle of the 5 Armies. Have a look at Peter Jackson's epic.
Thorin, you gave a promise.
You brought upon them only ruin and death.
You've won the mountain, is that not enough?
Now, we defend it.
There you go. Quite the epic trailer to get you in the mood for it. So this is the conclusion of the adventure of Bilbo and the dwarves. And as you can see here, Thorin Oakenshield succumbing to a bit of dragon sickness. The king under the mountain sacrifices his friendship and honor in search of the legendary Arkenstone. This one plays out a lot like Return of the King, the 3rd installment in the Lord of the Rings movies. You've got just wall-to-wall action, a full-on battle that takes up much of the movie, multiple storylines going on at once. They sacrificed a bit of the story, I think. And again, you do feel the excessive padding and the stretching out of what essentially was a novella into 3 movies that are 2 hours plus each, but this brings it to a dramatic and I think satisfying conclusion for the fans. They were never as good as the Lord of the Rings films. That being said, though, they still had the production design, the look, the special effects, the great characters, and the sprawling battle scenes that we've come to enjoy from these Tolkien adaptations. So if you like the first 2 Hobbit movies, you won't be disappointed in the Battle of the 5 Armies. They pulled out all the stops in this one. Peter Jackson and crew. Some great bonus features as well on the Blu-ray, which you can also get in 3D. Recruiting the 5 Armies, Completing Middle-earth, The Last Goodbye, and New Zealand, Home of Middle-earth Part 3, which is a great look at all the location shooting because, of course, these movies would be nothing without all that beautiful scenery from New Zealand mixed with the great CG. Wonderful collection to add to your repertoire of Tolkien films to go along with the Lord of the Rings movies as well. Nice to see Sir Ian McKellen reprising his role as Gandalf once again. Okay, Disney's back with a musical, and Into the Woods makes its debut on Blu-ray and DVD, and I really enjoyed this movie. It's a sort of a retelling of some classic fairy tales that take a couple of different stories from that world and look at the consequences of the characters. Get a look at Into the Woods.
Wish.
You wish to have the curse reversed?
There you go. Meryl Streep bringing it, along with James Corden, who just made his late show debut. Emily Blunt, Anna Kendrick, Daniel Huddlestone, and Lily Crawford, who is amazing as Red Riding Hood. This also Chris Pine, who plays a wonderful prince and has a great duet with another male counterpart. This is a great film. It's first of all from Rob Marshall, the acclaimed director of Chicago and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, based on the Tony Award-winning musical. And then you've got legendary composer and lyricist Stephen Sondheim providing the music for it, as well as the lyrics. It's got all the right notes, I think. It was funny, it was poignant, it was well shot. The songs are great, and the cast all bring their A game to this one because they did all their singing, of course. Anna Kendrick and Emily Blunt, probably my favorites in this one, and this young girl, Lily Crawford, who played Little Red Riding Hood. It's very cheeky, and that's what I liked about it. It wasn't the sort of standard fairy tale fare. They had a lot of sort of modern twists and updates to it to make a little winks to camera that some of the jokes may go past the kids' heads, but the adults will be reveling in the wit of the story and the great lyrics. So Into the Woods, it's beautiful on Blu-ray, and it's loaded with bonus features as well, courtesy of Disney. So get that one right now. It's good for the whole family. Sags a little bit in the middle, gets a little bit dark, but other than that, the singing was all wonderful. Finally, we leave you with Rowan Atkinson. Yes, Mr. Bean. The series celebrates 25 years, and what better way to do that than by giving you the whole Bean, the 25th anniversary collection, a 4 DVD set containing all 14 hilarious episodes, including the classic Christmas one, remastered with insightful bonus features, including previously missing scenes from the original U.S. broadcast, a retrospective documentary, the best bits of Bean, and never before seen on TV sketches, and more. This was a really beloved show, and it was sort of about the most embarrassing man on earth who people always wanted to help, but they would never invite him for tea, and Rowan Atkinson showing his brilliance and timing as this playful and lovable character of Mr. Bean. And audiences all over the world sort of loved the character and just sort of the charm and the innocence, the childlike qualities that he brought to the show. So there you go. Again, a 4-disc DVD set with all 14 of the episodes from the hilarious series Mr. Bean, the whole Bean, 25. The best is the nativity scene. We don't have the time to show it to you, but just get the DVD collection and you'll be up to speed. That's it, people. I'm Thor Diecow. It's This Week on Blu-ray and DVD concluding. You can catch me on Twitter @ThorDiecow. We'll see you next week on btvancouver.ca.